Alright, what's up guys? It's Andrew or Drake, whatever you want to call me, but I'm back with another Rainbow Six YouTube video. Yes, I know, it's been a week, post weekly, and yeah, so today we're going to be going over something that I recently did a little bit over, but today I want to go over something a bit more important that's not really talked about for Rainbow Six Siege. Now, if you haven't seen my other video on how to aim Rainbow Six Siege, make sure to go watch that before this, I guess. But today we're going to be going over something a little bit different, and it's something that I didn't really have time to go over in the other video. So yeah, let's get right into it. So as you can see from the title, we're going to be going over aiming software. Now, this is a pretty controversial topic. A lot of people use it to just train their aim in general, but should you use it for Rainbow, and does it really help? So throughout the video, I'm just going to try and answer this as best as I can. We're going to look at what softwares to use, if it does help, and how you should use them to help you in Rainbow specifically, not just for any other game, because this is a Rainbow channel, and I want to help you guys get better at Rainbow. Now, before the video starts, please make sure to subscribe. Leave a like on the video because it really does help me. I make videos weekly for you guys, trying to help you guys get better. Now, I try to put some effort into these, so I'd really just appreciate it. If you could drop a like, subscribe, show some support. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so what I consider a aim software or something outside of Rainbow, there's pretty much anything that you would use outside of Rainbow. This could be another video game, this could be an actual software, this could be a browser thing. Now, there are three types of ways to practice outside of Rainbow. There is downloading an aim software like Kovacs, Aim Labs is probably the most popular. There's playing another game like CSGO or some really aim reliant game that makes you practice aim a lot. Or there's using web browser things, meaning you can go on like Aim Booster or Aim Trainer where you're literally using the web. You don't have to download anything. You just go on it and you practice. Now, straight off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and say, out of these three, I'm going to say do not use web browsers if you're going to use software to aim. If you feel like you're in TerraSun and your practice is not cutting, you want something more precise, I really recommend CSGO and an actual aim software. CSGO is like a really good aim trainer for me because it's just, that game is completely aim reliant. I'll play that game and I'll hop on any game and my aim will be just 10 times better. Or you have aim labs, which is 10 times more customizable and it's really good. Now, another thing I want to say is in order to use these softwares correctly, there's a standard of things you need to understand. The first thing you need to understand is in these aim softwares, you want to make it as similar to Rainbow Six Siege or whatever game you're playing as possible. That means matching your sense perfectly and making sure what you're doing is going to be the same as Rainbow Six Siege. So let's say we have a game like CSGO. Now, the reason I'd say CSGO is a viable aiming software is because it delivers something that Siege doesn't always deliver. Now, in TerraSun, you can only run into maps, and yes, you can shoot the person. But CSGO, you can find maps like this where you're literally just flicking over and over again. And this helps build muscle memory. They have better aim when aiming down sights. So as you can see in CSGO, I'm literally just flicking, trying to improve my aim over and over again. And the one thing you want to do before you aim into an aiming software is making sure that you match the sensitivity from Rainbow to the aiming software. Because if you're going to aim and practice your aim on a different software, you need to make it the same as Rainbow or else you're going to mess up your muscle memory. That's one of the main things about aiming in general. You'll see a lot of pros or just big streamers like Shroud, for example, who literally go on CSGO, or they started from CSGO because CSGO is just such an aim reliant game. So if you become even decent at it, your aim will pretty much be better in anything. Playing CSGO, I learned so many things about aiming because this game it takes more aim than anything else compared to Rainbow Six Siege, where strats and map knowledge, you have to focus on so many other things. But being good at CSGO pretty much makes your aim better than anything. Now, the question is, will this work for you? Now, everybody is different. There are literally people out there who can be on any sensitivity and it will destroy anyone. And there's other people that have to have a specific thing in order to perform well. Now, for me, CSGO works very well for me. I will typically warm up on CSGO, and after my aim will be ready to go. Now, if I try anything else, it's right, but CSGO for me is what I use to warm up. Now, if you like to download the map I just showed, the name is Aimbots with a Z, Aim Trainer. If you'd like to go on it, make sure to go on CSGO, Steam Workshop, type in the name I just, if it works for you. The next potential aim software that I use, and I see a lot of people start to use, is called Aim Labs. Now, the thing about Aim Labs is this is much more precise when it comes to practice aim. There's tracking, precision, cognition, all these other types of things. And specifically for this trainer, I like to use it for Siege. The reason I like using this one specifically for Siege is because it has a lot more options that appeal to like the Siege type of gameplay, and it also has an ACOG and holographic sight that you can actually use in-game. As you can see right here, I'm using the holographic sight, and the best thing about this is that you can match your sense perfectly with Rainbow. Now, for those of you that are saying, oh, why don't you use Kovacs? This is a completely free software, but Kovacs is going to cost you money, and just between Kovacs and this, I just see this better for Siege. Now, if you disagree, you can of course use Kovacs. It's still a great aim trainer, but this one I like the most. Another thing is, as you can see, the settings are very, very easy. As you can see here on the top of the screen, all you have to do is press, it says which game would you like to match your sense to. I chose Rainbow Six Siege. When you choose Rainbow Six Siege, as you can see, it'll have all of the settings from Rainbow. You just take the settings from Rainbow and implement them into the game, and it'll be the exact same. You can mess around with the multipliers, mess around with everything, just do it until it matches completely, because the most important thing in an aim trainer is making sure that you have the same muscle memory type movement. Otherwise, you're not going to see improvement. It's not really going to help you. It might throw you off. If you're on a different sense and you're going to go to another game with a different sense, it's going to be like the training never even happened. So it's just really important. What you have to remember is the whole reason we're using a aim software in the first place is because Siege is not cutting it. TerraSun is not cutting it. Yes, it does, you can shoot the enemies, but as you can see in Aim Labs here, an exercise like this you cannot get in Siege. This is going to help you practice precision. There's tracking, there's a bunch of different things. So if you're going to use an aim software, make sure you use one that has different stuff to practice with. If you do follow Siege, you might see someone using this, and his name is King George. He is a pretty good player, and he does use this to warm up. He'll possibly use the ACOG or the holographic. That's another thing, when you practice this, we're practicing for Siege. This is a Siege video on how to practice aim in Siege. So you're going to want to be using ACOG or holographic mostly. Those two things are going to help you the most, because there is even a sensitivity option in there that says you can either put it on holographic, or ACOG, which means you can practice with the exact sensitivity for holographic, ACOG, or reflex. All those things, it has the same sights. It's really helpful. The whole point of practicing this is to warm up your arm and your wrist, so your brain can memorize and practice how to move and target the target on the screen. This is really important, because not only are you training your brain to memorize stuff, the muscle memory is going to come in really handy in any video game, especially for Rainbow Six Siege. Now, the last thing I want to go over is, do these aim softwares actually work? Should you use them? Do they work for me? What does it have the effect on the actual person trying to get better at Rainbow Six Siege, specifically Rainbow Six Siege in this case scenario? Now that we've analyzed these softwares and know how they work, we can answer this question the right way. And the answer to this question is yes, to an extent. As we saw in the methods and softwares we use, yes, these softwares will improve your aim. They do help, but there is something different compared to the game and the software. No matter what software it is, there's always an advantage for in-game practice, but this does not mean you shouldn't use aim software. Aim software is still very, very helpful. I use it, and you should be using it. But what I'm saying here in the long run is there will be a certain point where no matter how much you practice outside the game, you're gonna need to practice things inside the game. So what I'm trying to say here basically is, you want to try and get the most realistic and closest experience to an actual in-game scenario, because no matter how good your aim is, Rainbow Six Siege brings us different things to the table. There's different scenarios, there's different examples, all that stuff can be practiced in Rainbow Six Siege. Now, it's an aim software, it does practice your aim, but there's just certain things that in the game you need to play Rainbow Six Siege to find out. So in conclusion here, guys, yes, aim softwares are a good thing for Rainbow Six Siege. They will improve your aim, but there are certain scenarios in the game that you should be able to practice and know when to practice compared to an aiming software. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. This is going to be the end. Please make sure to consider subscribing, all that good stuff. Leave a like. If you want to say something in the comments, maybe tell me something I'm missing or if I'm right, Any of that stuff would be really helpful. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get the channel better. I'm trying to improve you guys. You know, the whole point of this channel is to make you guys better Siege players. I upload every single Monday, helpful Siege videos, anything Siege-wise. Make sure to come and drop here on Monday, see what I upload. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Again, I cannot explain how much I appreciate it. As always, peace out.